Relax. My name is Mike Garcia. I am the marketing manager. I'm going to go ahead and be your host and presenter today. And just as everyone knows, Earth Day was just around the corner, or just right around the corner. It was about yesterday, I believe. And so today's webinar, we're going to go ahead and pay homage to the special day by offering online marketing tips that focus on the 3 R's. So instead of discussing how to reduce, reuse, and recycle, we're going to go ahead and discuss how to rebuild, refresh, and then basically relax and kind of let things take wind with you. So in this webinar, we're going to go ahead and explore how to rebuild your website strategy. We're also going to talk about how to refresh your social media and your social media campaigns, how to refresh your PPC ad campaigns as well, making sure that those are up to date and good to go. Refreshing your direct marketing campaigns, those are also definitely important. And then, of course, at the end, relax, your website never sleeps. So first off, let's go ahead and talk about rebuilding your website. So if you haven't really touched your website since you first set it up about 5 or 10 years ago, however long it's been, it's time to really take another peek at it and really kind of see what you've just kind of let there to sit in the dust. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, but simply rebuild certain components that might not be as effective as what they used to be. So really, if you have an old website that you haven't touched in a while, maybe it's something that you have touched, but you haven't really done much with it, what you really want to do is probably look at the content. The very first component that you want to look at is reviewing and probably rebuilding that content. A lot of things change, services, techniques, even staff, whatever it may be. Even the building that you're at, the location, that's one of the biggest no-nos I see a lot of people do with their website. They forget to update the contact info, the meat and potatoes, the very heart of what people are going to be contacting you by, whether it's a new phone number, a new address, a new location. That's the biggest thing overall that anyone can agree on for SEO, for search engine optimization, for your website, for your business cards, your email signature, whatever it may be. It's called NAP, which is name, address, phone number. If the name of your practice is not matching, if you changed it up, or if you purchased the practice from another colleague or whatnot, if the address is different, maybe you guys have a different street number on there, maybe it's a little difficult to kind of know where you're at because you're in a different complex. If the phone number changed, if you're using a call tracking number now, whatever it may be, name, address, phone number, NAP, which is coincidentally like NAP, but you don't want to sleep on it. You want to make sure that it's up to date, and that's going to help not only your directories to be consistent, obviously your signature in your email, your business cards, your collateral, your flyers, brochures, website, everything needs to match. So that's going to be something that's very important. But again, your content. Content is still king. And that's something you definitely want to make sure and keep in mind as well. Ever since Google did release their Panda algorithm update, which was back in September, I believe, 2014, websites with low quality content were somewhat penalized, and it really lowered the rankings on those websites for the search engine results pages. So one of those things that you want to keep in mind is if it's content that maybe you read and it's still relevant, let's just say, maybe you haven't updated it for 5 years, but that technique or that service is still relevant. You might want to still kind of go back on there, maybe see if you can add a little bit more, maybe just kind of tweak it up a little bit, change some of the content up a little bit on that page, because there is a refresh factor, and you want to make sure that Google understands and sees the fact that you guys are keeping it up to date and that it's still relevant, so that when people are searching for you, it's up to date in their eyes as well as Google's eyes, that it's not just some old, stale piece of content. Regardless of what's in the content, it's a matter of how often you update it. Even if the content itself doesn't need to be updated, just tweaking it so that not the information is updated, but more so the content itself is updated, switched around, adding more content, removing old stuff that doesn't need to be on there, so on and so forth. So with this in mind, make sure that your content is unique, it's informative, it's of substantial length, not really stuffed with too many keywords. That's something that a lot of people do, and it's a no-no. So probably you want to shoot to have about 500 to maybe 1,500 words or so on each page of content. Incorporate your keywords naturally as if you're speaking about it. You don't want to kind of sound like a robot. One instance of the keyword to the relevant internal page is something that you want to link as well. So if there's something that you have, I'm just going to use it as an example. Use a chiropractor as an example. Let's say you're talking about car accident injury and you talk about whiplash. So you're talking about whiplash because obviously it's incorporated within car accident injury and the content that you have. But let's say you want to extend more on whiplash itself. So you're going to have a separate page on whiplash, but in that content about car accident injury where you have the word whiplash, you want to link that word to the whiplash page. So there's the relevancy there, and you want to make sure that you do that because Google will see that. Now, does that mean you link every single word to that page? No. That's stuffing in itself because you're not going to probably, if you're not stuffing, you're not going to have that many instances of that one word in the content. And if you do, you probably have to look at it and think to yourself, would I normally talk like this and mention it 20 times in a matter of 50 words? Probably not. So again, it's natural, and you can just link it once and go to another page. Same thing happens, with veterinarians, optometrists, whatever industry you're in. It's going to be the same exact method, and you want to do something naturally in that instance. Also, if you haven't really set up a blog yet, that's really important. You should probably consider doing that. Blogging is a real great way to introduce new, unique content on a regular basis. Really keeps your clients coming back to your website to kind of see what you're blogging about. Make sure that you put a link at the bottom of your website that users can follow to find your blog if possible. If they can't find it on the website, maybe have a link or an image somewhere on the sidebar in the modules, somewhere on the home page that they can actually get there. And it's one of those things that you want to kind of look at because blogs are actually really important. That's something where you can talk about a specific topic. It can be very short. It can be about 500 words, maybe between 500 to maybe 1,000 or 800 or so. I'd say stick around 500 or so. It doesn't have to be long, but it's one of those things where you can talk about any topic at all, and that's considered fresh content. And you can blog once a week. You can blog once every 2 weeks, once a month. I recommend doing it at least a minimum of once a month, if possible. And if you don't have the time or you don't know what to write, think of any kind of frequently asked questions people ask. There's a lot of times people ask questions in the office frequently, and you kind of probably want to think about jotting some of those down because some of those might actually be great topics that you can just answer in the form of a blog. Another thing you can do is you can take specific services or techniques or anything that you have, and you can just kind of extend on it. If there's a specific topic, talk about it. Keep in mind, though, make it relevant to your practice and relevant to your industry because you don't want to get into personal type of blogs on your business website. You don't want to talk about, obviously the big no-nos, which is, politics, religion, things like that. You probably even don't want to talk about, when I say personal things, like if a sports team that you like is, doing great in the playoffs or whatever it may be, you can talk about that, but to be honest, that's really not going to be relevant to your practice, and the people that maybe aren't interested in the same things that you're interested in personally probably will be turned off by that because they're not going there to, listen to that or read about that. They want to read about what they came on the website to read about. So think about that. That's something that you want to really kind of consider when you're doing things with blogs. The next component, of course, that you need to review is probably the media, videos, anything like that. Do you have any videos that are included on your website? If not, you can put some on there. You probably want to do that, now. That's really important. Media is a huge, huge component of your overall rankings and overall sticky factor because when someone's on a website and they see a video, it ends up, if it's a 2-minute video, something that's not long, they'll actually sit there and they'll click on it, they'll watch it for that 2 minutes, and then what that does is that adds a component to your rankings as well because that adds that sticky factor, time on site, time on page. Google looks at that. The more, when someone goes to a website, they don't just look at the fact that there's a lot of visitors. They look at the fact that how many visitors actually went to that website, how many actually stayed on that website, and how many went to multiple pages past that. There's something called a bounce rate, which is actually really bad, where someone goes on a website and then they, let's say, consider, oh, this is the wrong website, and they leave the website without doing any kind of action. They don't click on any links. They don't go to any pages. They're not on the website that long, maybe 15 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever it may be, and then they leave. That's considered a bounce. And that's almost kind of like that's almost not even a visit at all. I mean, that's really a kind of a negative penalty if you want to think of it that. You don't want to have a high bounce rate because if you have a high bounce rate, that means the relevancy is absolutely not there. And if someone's searching for a term, and let's say you're on the first page, you're ranked 3 or 2 or something like that, Google's going to see the fact that you have a really high bounce rate and people are going to your website but not staying on the website. They're leaving right away. Google's going to look at that and think, you know what, why is this on the first page at such a high ranking? Nobody's staying on the page. Let's go ahead and knock this down a few rankings so we can get something more relevant up there. So video is an important piece, not only for the home page, but for other specific pages. because of the fact that you can have individual pages rank by themselves on Google. You can actually dominate the search engine results page by having multiple pages linked. Now, how do you do that? Of course, there's a little bit of SEO, a little bit of time management that goes involved into it, your metadata, your descriptions, the content. There's a lot of different pieces, and of course, it takes a lot of time. If you don't have time for that, we definitely can coach you on that and help you out on that. But that's something that is something that you need to consider as far as an additional piece, additional component to rebuilding your website, the content and the media. Now, media is not only just video. Of course, it's also pictures, images, and things like that. So, videos are really easy to follow, break up the monotony of page upon page of written information. It kind of, a lot of people can, I guess, digest, consume video a lot more than just a long page of content. So, again, if you are not too sure how to do videos, everyone's got a smartphone nowadays. You don't have to have a professional person go down there. You can start taking videos of the practice, little virtual tour, things like that. If someone wants to stretch, how to, put your contact lenses in correctly, how to, give medicine to your pet properly, how to brush your cat's teeth, things that people probably ask a lot of questions about that aren't too sure how to do it, and it's difficult to explain through text or through content. Video is a great way to do that. So another thing you should probably not do is not link out to too many third-party sites. A big no-no that I see a lot of people do is they will talk about a certain topic, a certain service, technique, whatever it may be on their website, and then they go and they link to Wikipedia or they link to WebMD. I'm shaking my head. I know no one can see that, but it's absolutely bonkers, I guess you can say, when people do that, because you should be the authority for that topic. You need to be the person, you need to be the source for that information. Not Wikipedia, not WebMD. All that really does is that adds SEO value to those websites, and you're basically, you might as well just hand them money. When someone comes to you for your services and they pay you, you might as well just take that money and just give it to some other person, some other competitor of yours. That's typically what people do when they link to sites like that, as opposed to just giving the information on their website and keeping the linking within. You can link outside to external websites if they link back. There is backlink juice that is definitely beneficial, but unless you're having Wikipedia, WebMD link back to you, which is highly unlikely, but would be amazing if they did, there's no value at all. And again, all you're doing is you're giving them a backlink. They don't have to necessarily give you anything, but they're giving you a backlink. You're giving them a backlink. So again, don't link to too many outside third-party sites. What you can also do is you can add a no-follow HTML code in those links. Now, that's a little more advanced. You can give us a call. Here we can kind of help you out with that, but there are different techniques if you do have a lot of links that are going out to where Google will be told through the HTML not to follow those links, so you don't get penalized that way. So another thing final thing I guess you can talk about, or we can talk about, is of course the mobile responsiveness, I guess you can say, of your website. Later this month, I should say actually on the 21st, Google released an algorithm update that really penalizes your website if it's not mobile friendly. So given that so many users search for websites using their mobile devices, their phones, their tablets, Google really wants to make sure that businesses and their websites are easy to view on smartphones and tablets themselves. So again, making sure you have a mobile responsive website is very important. If your website's not mobile friendly, it's imperative that you rebuild your website and your design. And of course, you can give us a call if you have a specific skin that you're not sure if it's mobile responsive. Give us a call, ask us, we'll go ahead and let you know. Majority of ours are mobile responsive, except for maybe some of the really, really old ones that we have. But again, we've been around for about 13 years. So if you've been a client of ours for a long time, you might want to double check and give us a call, let us know, and then we can kind of review your website and let you know the best steps to do that. And it's fairly quick as well. So if you weren't able to jump the gun before the 21st of this month, which was Monday, I believe, or Tuesday, you can basically let us know, and we'll try to help you out in that aspect. So there is a way that you can actually, double check your website. If you go on your mobile phone or tablet, you can go ahead and type in your website and find out if it pulls up and it looks normal. That's an easy way to do it. Again, I'd probably recommend just giving us a call. We'll help you out. Number 2, refresh your social media. Very important, because social media is, of course, what I consider outside of the website. Of course it is, but it's one of those things that is, 1, a social media platform, 2, a review site, and 3, a great way to have free PR to reach out to people that don't necessarily know about you or your practice, or it's a great way to get referrals internally from friends and family or people that know you to reach people that you actually have never met or know about your practice in general, that we can get some new patients to come in. So most likely your business is already there on social media, so you probably don't really need to rebuild your entire social media strategy, but you might want to look into just giving it a little tweak, a little refresh. So for instance, perhaps you already have a Facebook business page, but you need to add a Google Plus business page or maybe a YouTube channel, something that you don't have. Which social media sites do you use for your business? So at the very least, you should probably be thinking about, of course, number 1, Facebook, Twitter, possibly LinkedIn if you don't, Google Plus, and then of course YouTube. Those are very, very important. YouTube's always going to be important because you need to have some videos on there, and it's great. Google loves when we use their products. YouTube is owned by Google. You can have videos pull up in the search results page. Video's great. Facebook and Twitter are kind of a must. Facebook definitely is a must. There's over 1 billion people on there. I know over the 1 billion people aren't going to all be going to your practice, which would be amazing, but the fact is there's a lot of people that you don't know and that don't know you, and it's a way that you can actually reach out to them by the people that do like your page, because when they like your page and they comment on your posts and they engage and they like your posts, everyone on their friends lists will see it. So if Joe has 1,000 contacts in his list and he likes your page, they'll see that. If he comments on one of your posts, or he likes a post, or even if he shares a post, everyone on his list will see it on their feed. That's just how Facebook works. So it's a great way to really kind of get some great referrals from those clients and those customers and those patients that like your practice and really kind of engage with your posts. You might get posts or put posts that you think aren't really relevant. You just think, why do I have this image or this meme or this infographic, or what's going on with that? But yet you look at it and 10 people liked it and 5 people commented on it. You got to really think about that, because those are people that actually now are almost promoting you because they liked your image and they liked your post as a business, and now everyone on their list, it's like wildfire. They're going to see the fact that they like that, and it's like, oh, you know what? I was looking for a chiropractor, or you know what? My cat's been sick. I need to find a vet. Oh, how was that vet? And if it's family and friend, which again, most social media is family and friends, they're going to go ahead and take their word for it more so than a stranger. Of course, the best thing is getting reviews on social media. If anyone leaves a review on social media, that's going to be seen by everyone that's on their list, all their friends and family. So social media is great. You want to make sure it's up to date, it's refreshed, everything's good. Your name, address, phone number, again, is very important. And it's one of those things that you have to keep in mind. Make sure that you keep your personal profile separate from your business profile. A lot of times nowadays, people are, just using the same profile for their business and their personal profile. That's a big no-no, because you need to keep that stuff separate. Whatever personal things you post are not going to be liked, and they're not going to be wanted or welcomed by anyone that is just not interested in seeing anything personal. They want to see things about the business, or else they'll just not follow you, or they'll not like the page. So kind of keep that in mind as well. Whether you already have all these set up, you want to make sure that, or obviously if you're setting it up for the first time, you want to make sure that you, again, know the difference between those two pages, the business page and the personal profile. So just kind of give you an example. With Twitter, you don't need to establish a specific business, let's just say, but you do want to include pertinent information about your business into your account. Again, you want to make sure the name, address, phone number is there, the URL with a link to your website, those kind of things. Facebook, LinkedIn, and Google Plus, though, allow you to create specific business pages that are distinct from your individual profile, so you can keep those two separate. So go to the help section of your social media to learn how to, create that business page. They'll kind of help set you up. If you create a new account, it'll ask you if you want to create a business page or a personal page. But with Facebook, you may have to set up a personal profile before you set up a business page. So if you don't have Facebook at all, just create a personal profile, almost as if you're just creating a login. You don't have to use the personal profile, but then you can go and create a business profile after that, and then that way, if you want to, you can log in with the same login info, and then you'll have both of them together. Now, with Google Plus, it's also, of course, important to have a business page. Make sure you're using a Google Plus My Business page. That's what they call that. So Google can reference important information, including your business name, the address, the phone number, all throughout their platform, including Google Maps, YouTube, etc. So when you create a Google, let's say if you have a Gmail account, they give you the option to create a Google, Plus profile, YouTube profile. I mean, they're all connected. So if you have one personally, you can go and create a new Google profile or create a new Gmail account just for the practice, and you can set all that stuff up with that same login. So it's really, really kind of convenient through Google. That's one thing I like about Google is they like to incorporate everything together. So now that you've refreshed your social media accounts, ensuring their business pages, of course, where applicable, make sure your website links to them. That's a big, big important piece as well. If your website's not linking to them, how are people going to see it? So putting buttons in a really highly visible location on your website is kind of a great way to make sure your clients can move seamlessly from your website to your social media accounts and back again. One thing you want to do, and if you know how to do this yourself, perfect. If not, definitely, again, I'm going to keep referring to giving us a call, 1-800-iMatrix. We can help coach you through it. But if you link outside, when this is a big, big important step, so make sure everyone's paying attention. If you link outside to a social media platform, like Facebook, the black hole of social media, that is Facebook. And I say that because everyone gets sucked in. As soon as you get on Facebook, you'll realize that you've been on there for an hour and you have no clue where you're at, what profile you're looking at. You get completely sidetracked. You want to make sure that if you link out to any social media site, I'm not going to say linking to content within your website. That's fine. But linking outside of your website, you always want to make sure you link it into a new window or a new tab. Reason being is because what happens is I click on your Facebook link. If it's not linking to a new tab or a new window, it's going to open it in the same window that I'm looking at your website in. And now that I did that, I'm on Facebook and your website's gone and I'm stuck in Facebook or on YouTube, and you just lost me in the jungle of social media. I'm probably not going to hit back. I'm probably going to keep going forward and looking through Facebook and, oh, look at so-and-so's post, and oh, look at this business, and on YouTube, look at this video. Trust me, it happens all the time, and to be honest, it's best practice to link to a new window and a new tab just because of that fact. So what that does is that helps to keep people on your website. It'll open a new tab, open a new window, but then when you're done, you can close that out, and they'll still be on the page that they clicked on the link. They'll still be on your website. So that's a big, big, big best practice. You really need to make sure, and if you aren't too sure how to set your links up that way, let us know. We can definitely help you out. Click of a button. It's really easy, and we'll help get through that every step of the way. So do you post? And one thing you want to kind of think about is, there we go. One thing you want to kind of think about is when you post. Do you post to your social media accounts during the day on Saturday, maybe Sunday, when you have some free time? When do you post? So if so, we probably recommend refreshing your schedule as well. Data really shows nowadays, in general, users tend to check their social media accounts during the work week. I know a lot of people probably cringe because they're hoping that their employees aren't doing that. But, honestly, people just do that. They get notifications on their phone. They kind of do a real quick glance for a second. Maybe they have on their phone, they're able to just reply to a post real quick, things like that. But that's something that people do all the time. Around midday, that's really kind of when a lot of the traffic happens. So, for example, the best days to really post on Facebook are probably Thursday and Friday between 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., whatever time zone you're in. So, of course, the data varies by social media and industry, of course. So do your homework, maybe kind of determine the best time to post on each social medium for your particular industry. Now, the thing you want to kind of think about is, of course, who your clientele is. If it's what the age range of them are. Maybe if it's someone that is, if you have a lot of younger clientele, then that's one of those things where, you probably want to do it midday. If they're a little bit older, you maybe want to do it a little bit later, a couple hours later or whatnot. It really just depends on your clientele, so kind of think about that. Now, here's a little bonus tip for you guys. Run maybe some special offers or maybe hold a contest periodically here and there for your social media followers. Everyone loves a discount or the chance to win something for free, even if it's just as simple as maybe a complimentary consultation. So, kind of spice it up a little bit. Think about doing things like that, and see how people interact, see how people engage with that. It's really, really helpful. So next we have targeting the right. Where am I? I think I'm on the wrong slide. Here we go. Oh, I'm going up. Okay, don't mind me. Here we go. Refresh your ad campaigns. I was like, I just talked about that. So refreshing your ad campaigns. So let's go ahead and talk about your PPC ad campaigns. Now, PPC is kind of one of those things that a lot of people either fairly know a decent amount about or don't know anything about at all. And PPC stands for pay per click. So pay per click ad campaigns are not something you can just set and forget. It's not a Craigslist ad. It's more so, I mean, it's really, really more so like a eBay auction. So you should refresh your PPC ad campaign regularly, maybe spending about 20 minutes a week reviewing, refreshing your PPC ad campaigns. Those typically tend to result in a greater click-through rate and probably a higher return on investment. It's one of those things that you want to make sure and check because it's like an auction. You're fighting again for those spots with everyone else that's trying to do the same thing that you are, and so they're increasing their ad spend, while you're just leaving it there sitting. And so, of course, as an auction, if someone wants to pay more, they're going to take you out of that spot and take over and knock you down a notch. And so it's one of those things that you want to make sure and kind of keep track of. So before you set up your PPC ad campaign for the first time, you make sure that you do extensive keyword research to determine what keywords will potentially yield the highest click-through rate at the lowest pay-per-click rate for the greatest ROI. Now, I know that's a mouthful, but you want to make sure that you're not spending too much money and not getting enough results. You want to make sure that if it's a keyword that is low cost, that's one of those things that you want to make sure to see, okay, well, how many people are actually clicking on it? What's the competition for that word? Is that something that a lot of people are looking for? Maybe make it a longer tail keyword, meaning that it's more of a phrase as opposed to just one word or two words. It's more like 5 or 6 words that people are looking for. Have low back pain or something like that, whatever it may be, and consider that. So you should continually grow and refine your list. It's one of those things that it's just the same as content. You want to make sure and kind of tweak it and see what works. Maybe you can take some things out, add some new keywords. But you want to make sure that you don't miss out on the plethora of long-tailed, low-cost, relevant keywords that tend to be really good for your campaigns PPC-wise. Refresh ads that have a click-through rate of less than 1%, pausing keywords with low click-through rates, maybe moving them to another ad group. Maybe consider bidding higher for exact matches and decreasing bids for broad matches. There's a lot of things here in PPC that some people probably just don't understand much, and they are definitely going to want to ask these questions. Now, we are Google certified here at iMatrix. You can give us a call. We can definitely help you out with those. But it's one of those things, PPC-wise, that take a lot of time. And if you don't have the time to do that, definitely let us help you out with that. Again, we have account managers all certified in AdWords, display ads, search ads. There's a lot of certifications for Google, and we've got a majority of those that are relevant to your practice. So definitely let us know. We can help you out with those as well. Ad groups, of course, are just different categories of these groups that you can put them in. If you're talking about one technique, let's say you're doing acupuncture and you got one type of acupuncture in one ad group, another type of acupuncture in another ad group, and you want to just have different keywords for that ad group and the different keywords for the other ad group, those kind of things. Another thing that you can do, obviously, is you can have different extensions and exclusions. Now, as far as extensions go, extensions are great because you can actually add different what they call site links. You can put different call extensions, location extensions. So call and location extensions add credibility to your ad and increase the click-through rates. What those are is on an actual ad, you'll see when you search for something on Google, on the search results page, you'll see on the ad there's other links below it, and those might actually link to a specific page. They might actually link to maybe like a sitemap link, whatever. It'll link to your directions if you want to have like a direction navigation link on there. You can have a click to call button on there as far as phone number. You can do all these different things on there so that if someone sees your ad and they don't want to go through all the trouble of going through your website or your landing page, they can just click on those links and it'll take them to whatever they need to get to. If there's specific services, you have 20 services, let's just say, but you have 4 that are the top services that people are normally getting. You can put those 4 as those extensions, and that way it's just easily accessible because that's what people are normally calling you for. Or if you want to really promote specific services, you can make those links to those services and going to those pages. Again, you can have special offers. You can do location, so it takes them to Google Maps and they can find the location easily. Again, the phone number extension you can put on there. That way, they can just click on it and it pulls up their phone or it pulls up their phone dialer on their mobile device. and they can just dial straight from there. It's definitely one of those things that you want to kind of look at and see if you can use extensions, because it will help to maximize your real estate on the search engine results page when you have those ads on there. Now, as far as mailers go, mailers are one of those things that you want to kind of think about, newsletters, things like that. If you're still sending out costly mailers to individuals' homes, only to really have them promptly discarded, maybe in the recycling bin. A lot of people still try to use mailers, and they don't always really work all the time. But maybe consider refreshing your direct marketing campaigns. Maybe e-blasts are more of an effective form of direct marketing, really without the cost of envelopes, stamps, that kind of thing. Maybe include a special offer or discount wherever you can. And keep in mind, people love discounts. People, even if it's not a huge discount, they like to feel like they're getting something exclusive. If it's a client of yours, they want to feel like they are getting something like a loyalty program, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things that you want to put some kind of call to action, some kind of, free consultation, even if it's that. You go to like a mechanic and they'll say, they'll check your tires and they'll check your brakes for free. Of course, they're going to get you on the labor and everything else for when they fix your brakes. But that's the whole point, is getting that person in there because they want to feel like they're going to get their brakes checked. They're going to get everything checked out for free, no charge, and then that way they can decide. But the hardest part is getting them there. So that's kind of what you want to think about, getting past that hard part of just getting them there so that they can get into the practice or fill out the form or respond somehow or give you a call, and then you can close them and get them into your practice and get them into your office. So likewise, mailed newsletters should now be sent electronically. We do have newsletters on our websites here. We do about twice a month or so. Those e-newsletters, you can call them. Not only can you email your periodic newsletters, you can also post them to your blog. You can post them on social media, Facebook. You can have them all linked up that way. And you really decrease the cost of disseminating the information via the post office while increasing the number of platforms they're visible on. Just instead of having it just go directly to their office or their home. You can have it on social media. You can have it through email. You can have it on the website. There's multiple places you can have it, and it's just a greater, broader reach. Further, maybe refresh your newsletters by including images, infographics, maybe some helpful tips, FAQs, that kind of thing, recipes, maybe some fun facts at the end, something like that, little factoids. Those are always good ways of kind of keeping it fresh and lively. And give your audience really something to look forward to with each newsletter. It's one of those things that you want to make sure that it's not mundane and it's just not dull. You want to make sure that you give them something to kind of look forward to. And of course, relax. Now that you've had, that you rebuilt your website and refreshed your social media, your marketing strategies, it's really kind of time for you to just relax and kind of see what, everything kind of come to fruition. So who's your most effective salesperson that does not take commission, get sick, or go on vacation? Think about it. It's your website. Your website's always working for you. So you want to make sure and take care of it. You want to make sure that you have everything good to go so that you don't have, so that you can set it and forget it, and then obviously get back to it at a later time. But it's one of those things you want to make sure that it looks perfect and it's great, because you want to have it almost like a billboard. Just start selling itself when someone goes to your website, and then you can really kind of have it shine and start just seeing people coming into your office. So in conclusion, by rebuilding those key components of your website and refreshing social media, your PPC ads, direct marketing campaigns, whatever it may be, that's the thing that you want to focus on the most, and that's the thing that's going to be most important to not only you, but also your clients. So one note of caution, relaxing doesn't necessarily mean to completely forget about it. Again, it's one of those things you want to check on your website and other efforts that you're doing from time to time, just to kind of see when they need to be refreshed as needed. But nonetheless, the heavy lifting really is finished once you have all these pieces incorporated, and now is the perfect time to kind of reward yourself for a job well done. And I'm hoping that everyone understands that it's not a lot of effort, but it's almost kind of like spring cleaning. It's almost kind of like when everyone thinks, oh man, I got to do that whole sink full of dishes, or oh, I got to do this. It's one of those things where you just do it once, and you don't have to do it again for a little while, and then you go back and you do it again, and you don't have to do it again for a while. So, keep in mind, refresh it maybe like once a month. Maybe put some time aside to where you can set some refresh time, maybe piece by piece, have someone kind of audit the website, making sure things work still, links are working still. If something changes within your practice, make sure it's updated on the website as well, and other pieces, your social media platform, If you guys are moving to a new location, new staff members, whatever it may be, keep that in mind that when you are building your website or rebuilding it or refreshing it, that it is the window to your practice. People are going to look at your website and really kind of judge your practice based on the look and feel of your website and how informative your website is before they even talk to you. So keep that in mind. What do you want your business to look like to other people, and how do you want people to view you as a practice owner? So again, I want to say thank you for attending this webinar. This is going to be the Q&A section. If you do have questions you aren't able to stay, feel free to give us a call, 1-800-iMatrix. We can go ahead and help you. Our internet consultants as well as our customer support coaches are standing by. We'll give you a personalized social media evaluation as well as any evaluation overall on your marketing strategy and your website. And maybe if you have some trouble kind of figuring out what does need to be changed and you're not sure what needs to be changed, let us know. We'll kind of give you a little audit, kind of analyze your website and see what works best for your practice and what works best for you guys to help kind of get the traction going if you've just kind of been stale with it and you aren't too sure and you just really kind of don't know what to do. You're not in the dark on that. A lot of people are the same way, and we'll definitely help you out. So again, give us a call. I'll leave this open for some questions. We do have some flowing in, and again, if you can't stay for these questions but want to know what they were and what the answers were later on, this is recorded, so we're going to go ahead and have it on our iMatrix.com website, YouTube channel. You can go ahead and go to iMatrix.com. There's a couple links on the top right for YouTube. Click on it. We have a lot of useful resources there as well as videos on YouTube that you can go ahead and check out, and other past webinars that you can take a look at, and just let us know. So thanks again. So let's go ahead and get into some of these questions that we've got here. So one question, it looks like, might have kind of got lost. So let me go back real quick. Oops, here we go. So one question was, number 3, what was number 3? We had number 2, refreshing social media, and then number 4, which is refresh direct marketing campaigns. Number 3, actually, the topic was refreshing your PPC ad campaigns. Again, if you aren't doing PPC ad campaigns, you can either just kind of skip over that part, or if you're interested in getting into the ad campaigns, again, it's one of those things that takes a while to kind of get started and set up. You can get results quick and fast, but there's a lot of intricate stuff into it. So if you aren't too sure about PPC, because again, PPC is the one piece of this whole webinar where it is a little more intricate, I will admit. You're spending money basically to pay for advertising to get yourself at the top. If you're not really doing well with your SEO rankings and you're having a hard time, and you're struggling a little bit, this is the perfect way to help fuel inject that ranking to help you get to the top where people can see you and to start getting people to flow in. So definitely let us know, and we can help you out if you have questions on PPC itself. Next question, let's see. Is there any easy way to add videos to the website? Our commercials are on YouTube, and it seems difficult to get them from there to the website. Is it better to just get a YouTube page and direct people to that page? So quick answer on that. I would not direct them to just the YouTube page. Now, something like us, let's just say our business, for instance, iMatrix, we have so many videos that just are scattered everywhere, from social media to how to get reviews to how to respond to reviews to whatever it may be. I mean, we've got a lot of different topics that it would be too much to have every single one of those videos on our website. Best practice, though, is, of course, to have relevant videos to particular pages on your website. If you have a page about how to do stretching, let's say it's yoga, right, and how to do a certain stretch, and you have a video clip, a 30-second or a minute or a 2-minute video clip on that same exact topic, maybe put that video on that particular page. Now, there is an easy way to do it. Of course, on YouTube, when you go to YouTube, you can definitely click on the share button, and what that will do is that will actually give you a little snippet of code. And you can pop that into the iController, into the back end of the website on that specific page. Again, if you're not too sure how to do that and need a little bit of help on how to add that on there, give us a call. We can definitely help you out. 1-800-iMatrix. Again, I'm going to keep throwing that out there. Our customer support coaches can easily add that on there, but that's what you want to do. You don't want to link them to the website, or sorry, you don't want to link them to YouTube. You want to have that video from YouTube on your website. Because what that does is, let's say you have a particular service or a particular topic on that page, and someone searches for that topic. Now, that page alone, not your home page or just your website, that page alone is going to show up in a search results page somewhere, and it might have the possibility of having that video pop up on there as well, which is great because if there's a video that pops up about a topic that I'm searching for on Google, I'm probably going to click on that one because, again, people will consume video content a lot more than written content or typed up content because it's so much quicker. They can consume it a lot faster. So definitely have it on your website if you can, and if you need some help putting that up, we can definitely help you out. Just give us a call. We'll pop any videos that you need on your website. So good question here. Let's see, I'm not going to repeat the website just in case so we don't get spam on you. I do a video blog, and there is a tab on our website linking to the YouTube page. iMatrix told us they could not do an iframe. I know that that updating the YouTube channel content is not keeping the contact for our page updated, and it is frustrating. Is there any way to fix this? So what you want to do, so I'm not sure, so as far as an iframe, I mean, that's kind of correct. You don't want to do an iframe. All an iframe really is if you have a website and you have an iframe, it's almost like consider your website a window, and putting an iframe on there is putting a window on a window. It's definitely something you don't want to do. As far as the video itself, if you have a video blog, let's see, and there's a tab on our website linking to the YouTube page. If the video blog is on YouTube, then same thing as the last question. You should be able to just link that video onto YouTube. Now, if it's one of those things where you want it to update every time with, you want to have a specific, let's say, video on your homepage with that blog, and every time you do a new blog, you want to have that blog or that video on your website update to the new blog you just posted on YouTube. Technically, an iframe would do that, but to be honest, that's not the way you want to do it. It's really kind of, it's just, you don't want to do that. I do recommend not doing that. Unfortunately, depending on how often you update, you're just going to have to relink the new video every time. That's just the best way of doing it, the best practice of doing it. Iframes just really aren't best practice on things like that. There's no way on YouTube to actually have one link that just updates every time. That it's just, unfortunately, that's just not how it works. So the only real way to actually do it is to manually add that video in every time if you do in a video. Now, if it's once a week, again, give us a call. We can help you add it on there. If it's something you do every day, unfortunately, that's going to be a little tedious. We can definitely help you out. We're here every day, but again, it's something you're going to have to do. Now, hopefully that answers your question. Now, if you have something where, you've got like a series of different videos for different blogs, things like that, again, if you're posting a blog on your website and the video pertains to that blog, link it to that new blog. That's going to definitely help out as well. But think of it that way. You can also, again, link it to your social media pages. You can link it to Google+, to YouTube, or sorry, to Facebook. It'll help to increase those views as well. So that's an easy way to kind of help increase those views for you. And hopefully that should be able to help out. But that's the only way I can think of that you can actually update the content if you want to have the video updated as well, is just doing it manually and just putting the link in there. Okay. So awesome. Anyone else have any more questions? And if not, again, I want to thank everyone for attending. This was a great webinar. I actually had some good questions from you, great feedback. And again, let us know. We will give you guys a free consultation and evaluation of anything you have, whether it's your website, social media, video, PPC, or overall SEO questions. Definitely let us know, 1-800-iMatrix. Again, my name is Mike Garcia. I am your marketing manager for iMatrix, and hopefully we'll see you guys next time.